Legends say, never approach the island, for a sleeping beast in the darkness waits for a great awakening.
I grew up playing Kingsfield. I was lost, I died to the squids, it was dark, it was a harder game. Now, as an adult who I've played Demon Souls, Dark Souls, Elden Ring, I've come back to this game multiple times and I've beaten it multiple times. I know where some of the secrets are that you can find early on, and I know how it is that you can kind of get a character set up with MP that's regeneratable or not. It doesn't regenerate slowly over time quite yet, and set you up with a way to teleport, which there's a few spots in this game that you can drop into like a pit with no way out, so it's helpful to have something like that, and with some weapons and some armor, so you'll be able to more easily enjoy this game without giving away too much about it, because this game's main thing that makes it fun is just exploring around. If you love exploring in Demon Souls, Dark Souls, and Elden Ring, and the combat's fun for you, but it's not the main factor, it's really just the exploration, I think you're going to enjoy this one, and this video will hopefully help you get set up so that you'll be able to enjoy this game as much as I do. So starting out, as you did see, I did run off to the left past the giant squid. Not a good thing to fight. I picked up a crystal and a short sword. This knight sword that I'm picking up here is in this exact spot. It's really hard to find and the skeletons kill you. The reason why I'm going here right away is because the skeletons can kill you and you can just retry again. It's not too far of a run to really get started. And you can pick up the knight sword, which is going to be just the best sword that you can pick up right away. You can get it super early, so I do recommend going for it. But it is guarded by some skeletons that will just one-hit you. You do have to watch out for the sharks and the little piranhas here on this lake. But you can go right over here. Don't bother picking up that stone that's guarded by the squid. There's a chance you could get it and get it out, but that's even harder than getting the knight sword. But try to keep where I was exactly. You can pause the video to find out where that knight sword is, because it is difficult to find. Back there in that barrel, I just picked up the first headpiece that you'll be able to get, and right past here you're going to find a well. This is important because you can click on the well as many times as you want. You can just keep on getting more health. So abusing the well, you should be able to beat these guys. I'm speeding up my gameplay here, but you should just be able to wail on them. It is easier to attack from behind if you can get behind there by using the strafe buttons. Now that you have a few items, you have a helmet, the knight sword, and you killed a few enemies, you're going to want to save the game, because at this point in the game, every time that you die, you're going to go back to an old save. So the closest save really isn't too far away. If you follow this path here down to your right, you'll walk into what looks like a weird wall. It's actually a door, I think, and you'll find a save past here. Here you can save your game, so every single time that you die now, you can just quickly load and back up to whenever you saved last. You have unlimited saves. It's not like Resident Evil, so not anything too hardcore. But after you do save down here, you are definitely going to want to talk to this guy and pick up this weird pie-looking thinger. You're going to want that later. Maybe talk to wasn't the correct choice of words there. He's pretty dead, but as long as you hit the action button, you should be able to pick it up. So here, we're just going back to the well, because there will be a path near the well. It's actually a secret wall. These things are scattered out throughout the entire game. You just kind of button bash X on them, and there's going to be a skeleton and a shield. So as you can see, I already did take a skeleton hit. You might not be able to, but certainly as we get more armor pieces like this shield, you probably will too. The damage might be just kind of random. I might have got lucky. But then we're just going to leave, and we're going to hold X to sprint right across this gap. Then you'll be able to slightly jump it, and there's going to be a tower here. At the top of the tower, we'll be able to pick up a new crystal. We're going to use that crystal to learn our first magic spell. So now that we got the crystal, we are going to dash across this lighter area here. It should be pretty much a straight line. You just have to pretty much sprint the entire way to watch out for sharks. And at the end of it, there'll be an island where the sharks can't get you and a few squids. We're going to go here to get the first chest plate. And just make sure you don't fall off the edge. It can be kind of difficult to tell where the light and dark parts are sometimes if you're not really paying attention to the ground and you're trying to avoid the sharks. If it wasn't a straight path, it's not the right way yet. You might have ran down a path and it brought you back to the main island where the save is and a fisherman. You want to go down the one that's a straight path. There's two different ones here and they look pretty similar. So now that we have our armor, we are going to head back to the island with the tower, and then we're going to head down that winding path that you might have accidentally took the first time. There will be a fisherman at the end of it. Again, it's kind of hard to sprint, but we kind of have to sprint just to avoid the sharks. So here you're going to want to go back and save again. It's pretty easy to die in the beginning of this game while you're still getting your equipment. So just feel free to save and then go to next to the room with the well. There should be another door that's similar to the one that leads to the save. There'll be a path that we want to take here. So off to the left, you're going to find a path with much better texture work. They don't really use this too often, and then you're going to cross a bridge. And the bridge goes like next to the waterfall. It's actually kind of scenic for a game that really doesn't have that great of visuals. And on the other side, you're going to find snails. Snails have a distance attack, so you really have to make sure you're not in front of one of them, or it will kill you very quickly. And you do have to swing at their head. You can't hit their neck, you can't hit their shell, or you're not going to do any damage. But if you swing at their head a few times and you make sure that you're able to kill one of the snails without the other one killing you with its breath, you'll be able to pick up a wind crystal for your first wind magic and pick up your first crystal flask, which is kind of like an Estus flask that you'd get inside of Dark Souls. So with the crystal flask now in our inventory, we're going to want to go back to that water fountain because we'll be able to refill the crystal flask every single time that we come here. I like to set it as the select button, just as an empty flask, so that I can go up to a fountain. Later in the game you'll have like 10 of these. You can just button bash the select button and fill them all up really quickly. And after this, I'll just battle some enemies real quick. It's actually nice to do this now because you at least have that kind of one healing flask with you at any time. Then after that, you might feel like you want to save again. There will be another save coming up, but it still might be a smart idea, depending on how safe you want to play this. But we're going to be heading past the fisherman and then to the cave on the left here. There will be some snails. This is really the only enemy you need to fight before the next save, but they can kill you pretty quickly. But we're going to go past the snails here, go up the stairs, and then there will be a path that divides. You're going to want to take the treasure chest right in front of you, and then there'll be a save right down this hall too. That'll give you your first map. The maps are drawn up by like different people on the island, like pirates, miners, so they are all a little different. They're not all perfect, but it will give you an idea of where to go. Then you're going to want to go back out this hallway, and you're going to want to drop off of the bridge to your left. This is going to take you through a path with more skeletons, more dangers, but there will be two axes that are swinging right at the start of the hallway here. You're going to want to just kind of run right at an axe as it's swinging away from you, and there should be a pitfall. And on the bottom of the pitfall, you're going to want to look backwards. There'll be a chest, and there you'll be able to pick up the Morning Star, which will most likely be your strongest physical weapon. They do have different stats attached to them, but for most enemies in the game, it seems like the Morning Star is the best weapon that you can get early on. So to get out of here, you're going to have to head down the path, just take the stairs back up, and then take a slight left at the end of the stairs, and then a right. And you will go down a hallway. There'll be a skeleton that drops down in front of you, and it should drop you down into the same room at the end of the hallway where the snails were before. And there will be a secret door in there. You're going to want to sprint to the treasure chest that's at the end of the hallway past the secret door. And then you're going to want to just drop down that pathway that opened up, and it should lead you back to the save that you're pretty familiar with, the first save that you used in the game. And you're going to want to save, go to the well and fill up your flask and heal yourself, because we're going to be heading into kind of the first base or level that's after kind of the start of the island here. So the first path that we're going to want to go down is on the left after we get into the base. There will be some guards right away, but you can feel free to use magic if you want to face them, because at the end of this guide we're going to be able to regenerate MP anyways. And the second guy I take down by using the bridge and having him drop. I don't think he dies down there, but it's just funny to do that. After we defeat those guards, we're going to want to go into the base a little bit. We're going to want to take a left here to this cavey looking area and then press action on the skeleton here to get one rhombus key. After we get that key, we can head back a little bit, kind of out of this base. Across the bridge, there'll be a town nearby. They don't quite look like towns because it's Kingsfield 1, but there'll be a town nearby, and we're going to want to talk to this salesman. So here's where we have to make some difficult decisions. We do want to sell some stuff just to at least get one more rhombus key copied. You're going to want a lot of rhombus keys later on in the game, but at least just for what we're doing here today, we only need at least one more. I'm going to sell some of the weapons I'm not using, but what it is you choose to sell here is up to you. We really just want that one more copy. And then we'll go to the keymaker, which is a little bit more into the town, and we'll be able to get that extra copy of that rhombus key. You'll come back here too if you ever need more copies in the future. So after that, we're going to head past the shop a little bit more outside of town. If you just kind of watch the video to get a feel for which direction to go in. And there will be a save over there. You'll know you're going the right way if you see a bunch of ghosts, termites, some red slimes, maybe some watermelon heads. You'll know you're going the right way, but by the end of this path, we want to reach kind of like a ground texture. That will be the first mine that we're going to go into. We're going to want to pick up a few items there. So at the first fork in the road, you're going to want to go right. There will be some termites down here which do give a small chance of causing paralysis, but luckily they are very, very, very weak to the morning star you already picked up, so a lot of them will just die in one hit. But you kind of want to keep on following that path to the right. The two treasures that we want to get here are right next to each other just at the end of this path, so they're pretty easy as long as you follow along the path to find and not get lost. So the first item that we're going to pick up here is the Star Gate, which if you remember that pie thing I asked you to pick up earlier, or the Star Key, sorry, they work together with the Star Gate, so you'll now be able to, at save points, like those goalposts that are waiting right next to one, you'll be able to drop the key into the goalpost, and then you'll be able to use, for just a little bit of MP, the Star Gate to teleport back there anytime that you want. After that, we'll get the Earth Crystal, so you'll learn your first Earth magic, and then we can leave these mines. There's still plenty more to explore, but for the purpose of this guide, we'll just get on out of here. So we're going to want to go outside of the mines, past the kind of rocky cave part before the mines, past the shopkeep guy, back to kind of like that main entrance to the base where we first fought those two guards next to the bridge. This time we're going to want to go all the way at the end of the hall here. There will be a path to your right near the end of it where you'll be able to use your first rhombus key. Just remember, when you do use it, it only opens for that one direction. You'd need two of them to open it both ways. Here I try to fight guards for half a second and then I just get outnumbered. There's too many of them. It wasn't really worth my time, but maybe there'll be less of them but when you get here. But I'm going to use the first rhombus key on this door here, and I'm going to try to take a right through these wooden doors. There's going to be another rhombus key on the table here. So after we defeat the guard and pick up this extra rhombus key, we're going to head outside of this room, and there will be a door right in front of you. We're going to want to go through that, but not quite yet. First, we're going to want to take the path to the right here. I have two guards down here, so it takes me a little while to fight them, and I have to use a bunch of earth heals, but at least you have some magic now to hopefully help you through. Hopefully you're not out of MP quite yet. But after we beat those two guys, we're going to want to go through the wooden door, and you definitely want to make sure you fight this guy. You could have skipped those last two, but this guy drops the jail key, which is essential. In this room, too, there's going to be a hidden wall that you're going to want to mash X against the wall on the right side, and then you follow this path until you get your first light crystal. Once you get that, you can finally go back to that door that was kind of right outside of that first wooden base area. So now we're in the prison section of the game. There's prison cells to your left and to your right. You're going to want to take the path to the right first, as we're going to free one of the prisoners there with that jail key that we got from the body of that guy we killed in that last room. And with this guy saved, he'll give you some lore similar to what you'd get in like the Dark Souls or Souls games. And you can keep on clicking in to him to get a little bit more lore. But most importantly, he'll give us the Dragon Stone, which means that we're one step closer to being able to revive our MP. After we talk to him and get the stone, we're going to want to head to the other cells on the other side of the hallway. And on the end of that hall, you're going to want to take the cell to your right, and there will be a hidden door in that cell. We're going to want to go down that path, and at the end of that path, we're going to find the room with the fountain. And in the room with the fountain, there will be, just to start out, kind of 2 empty ones and 1 running with water, which will give you full health. Out of the 2 fountains, you're going to want to use the Dragonstone on the one closest to the door you entered, as you see here on my screen. The other one will give you a fountain that heals your status effect. This one will give you a fountain that heals MP, and you can of course use your crystal flasks or any of them that you've obtained up to this point to refill your MP. So now you'll be able to refill your MP, you'll be able to heal yourself with Earth Heal, you'll be able to use fire magic on your enemies, and you'll be able to teleport back to wherever it is that you put that keystone down. So this is the end of the guide here. There's still plenty more for you to explore. Kingsfield is a very fun game. This guide will just kind of help you get started here so that now you don't have to worry about running out of MP, and you don't have to worry about dropping down into a pit and not being able to get out. You have all the resources you need. I say explore Kingsfield, have a fun time. There is still far many more secrets that I did not go over here, and plenty of stuff that I had you skip past for this guide. But I hope you enjoy the game, and thanks for watching. We'll catch you next time.